Hi Miguel, thank you for coming in today. I have read through your information that our assessment office passed on to me. So I kind of just want to begin our first session today talking a little bit about what prolonged exposure therapy is and just kind of getting a feel of where you are at with everything. So first of all, let me give you some background on prolonged exposure therapy. This therapy is pretty intensive. It's kind of like making sure that I like to tell my clients exactly what they're getting into before we start something. Then that way, if there's questions along the way and stuff like that, we can take care of that right away. So there's not anything making anything more stressful for you. Does this sound okay to you for a starting point?
Yeah.
Okay. First thing is that each session is going to be taped. And the reason for that being is that way you can go back when I assign homework assignments and you can listen to the audio sessions and just take your time in processing what we talk about here today, okay?
And does that stay between us? Like no one else can hear those tapes?
Right, absolutely. That's between you and me,
Okay.
and those will stay right here with us, just for you and me to share. So a little bit about the sessions that we're going to be doing. This therapy consists of 10 to 13 sessions. They usually last about 90 minutes apiece. The sessions are once a week, and I really try to make sure that we schedule them within 7 days of each other, no longer than 10 days. People seem to do a lot better with that, and I like to keep in touch with you as we're going through this. So you're going to be in therapy for around 3 to 4 months. Does that, any concerns or anything that you can think of?
I think it's for the best. I think I can do it. So.
Okay, I'm sure that you can. I have no doubt. All right. So each session is going to be filled with hard work. The thing about the prolonged exposure therapy, what you put into the session in your homework is what you get out of it. So my clients typically work really hard and they end up getting a good result. I have had some clients who have struggled because they haven't put the work in, but for the most part, the ones that put the work in seem to do really well. I like to tell clients also that if you're feeling overwhelmed, or if you feel the need for more support, I recommend reaching out to me, especially in the beginning as we start to, pull some of this out. Sometimes those feelings can become really overwhelming and extreme, and I don't want you to have to feel like you're alone or anything like that. Any questions or concerns about that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So an overview of why this fear keeps growing inside of you and things like that. When we have a traumatic event, a fear stimuli gets activated. And sometimes our fear response gets connected to something that is not really fearful, but it's part of that event. So whenever this fear stimuli becomes activated, something happens inside our brains, and it's now connected to something that's usually not dangerous. So in simple terms, our fear response gets assigned to something that just simply isn't dangerous. And now we have the job of assigning that fear to what it should rightfully be assigned to. Prolonged exposure therapy is going to help us with reassigning that. So Miguel, can you tell me a little bit about what happened or the struggles that you're having?
Yeah, I can try. So I was driving home from work. It was like 11 p.m. It was pretty dark, and I was only a few miles from home, and this vehicle just came up on my driver's side, and it just smashed right into my vehicle, and I can't remember exactly how long I was in the car for. Sometimes I think it was 30 seconds. Sometimes it feels like 30 minutes to an hour. The time just kind of jumbles up. I don't really know. I was kind of in a daze until the EMS showed up. So, but I've been experiencing I don't want to go to sleep because I'm afraid that I'll have nightmares about my accident, because I haven't been getting sleep when I do when I'm finally able to fall asleep, I'll like dream of it. And I have to travel with my work, so whenever we're on the road, I just completely shut down. Like, I can barely get in the car, and my boss, like, her patience is wearing thin. Like, and my wife just doesn't really know what to do. Like, she keeps she thinks I can get over it, but I feel like I can't.
Wow, that must be really overwhelming for you. You know, the thing is that when people go through these traumatic experiences, they can be left with things that they can't deal with on their own or simply get over just, you know, by talking it out in their head or somehow, you know, rationalizing things for the way that they are. But the good thing is that you're here today and that you're taking the first steps of getting through something that's really hard. So this is a great beginning for both of us in making sure that we get you to the point where it's not affecting your job. So what I want to do is discuss a little bit of homework that I'm going to be assigning you, okay? So what it's going to look like is I want you to practice controlled breathing 3 times a day for about 10 minutes, okay? And then you're gonna read, I have a handout here for you. This is going to be a handout explaining the role of prolonged exposure therapy. And then I want you to listen to our taped session and go from there. But just, you know, reviewing what we've discussed and things like that. Do you have any questions regarding the deep breathing?
I don't think so. Just in through the nose, out through the nose.
Right, so what you're going to do is, I would like you to find a quiet place to either sit or lie down, whichever is comfortable for you. And then what you're going to do is, you're going to take a normal breath in, and then you're going to follow with a deep breath. And I want you to fill the lower part of your belly up with this, and then blow it out through your mouth. We're getting those lungs filled up, and things like that. So just slowly breathe in, and you're breathing out. But I want you to practice that a few times a day, okay, for at least 10 minutes. And then when you come back, we'll go with that for the second session. All right?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.